once upon a time, there was a boy. And, this boy didn't have a name. Like, people just didn't refer to his name. You know when you know someone and, like, you don't, like, you forgot their name, so you just, like, when you talk to them, you just, like, don't address them just because, or if you can't pronounce their name or something, you just don't address them just because you're afraid that, like, you're gonna pronounce their name wrong, right? So this boy, like, he just kind of wandered around his life like a nomad, kind of, without knowing what his name was. So when he thought in his head, he always thought in I, because he just didn't know who he was. Anyway, so this boy just, like, walking around, you know, traveling, because he just doesn't know what else to do. And he finds this rock. And the rock is, it's a magic rock, okay? And he picks up this rock and he looks at it. He kind of, you know, he examines it and he's like, oh, a rock. And so he puts it in his pocket. He keeps walking. And he runs into this giant wall. And the wall has only one word spray painted onto it, and it says, and the wall says, tomato. Now the boy looks at it. He doesn't, you know, it's a wall and it says tomato. What is he supposed to do with that? So he looks at it and he's like, tomato? Why tomato? And he feels the rock, like, shaking in his pocket, and he's like, oh, that's weird. Like, I don't have a phone with me, so what could be vibrating in my pocket? So he picks up the rock, and it's shaking everywhere, and it's just shaking, and the rock explodes. It just explodes. And out of the rock comes a tomato. And he's like, what the heck? Okay, tomato. Making connections, right? And the tomato just, it flies out of the debris of the rock, and it goes against the wall, and it hits the wall, and it just splatters all over the wall. Okay, well, okay. And the wall opens up. It just opens up, like as if it were a door. And so the boy walks through the door, and he just realizes that this is where he'll know what his name is. So he's excited, and he walks through, and he's in this hallway, and it's very narrow, and it's dark except for there's little candles lighting up along the way. So he walks along the way, and he thinks about the tomato, and he's, how could this be significant to anything? So he gets to the long end of the hallway, and he gets to this very, 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 very tall baby. And the baby, you know, it's drooling, and it's kind of scary because it's like this giant baby, and it's drooling, and the spit is just going everywhere, and it's like raining drool. And the boy's like, what is going on? Like, I didn't take anything for this. And he gets there, and the baby just kind of looks at him and picks him up and starts sucking on him. He sucks on him. And you're like, what? Why? Why did that just happen? Like, what significance does that have to the story? And then you realize that it all makes sense. And when you think about it, you just sit and you think, how could he have not known